The baseball world was left in absolute outrage following one of the most shocking and disturbing incidents ever witnessed in a Major League Baseball game. During the 11th inning of a tense matchup between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies, Shohei Ohtani was deliberately hit not once but twice by Rockies players in what many are calling a calculated and brutal attack on baseball's most valuable player. What followed was one of the biggest bench-clearing brawls seen in recent MLB history. The incident has left fans furious, players shaken, and the entire baseball community demanding answers and justice. The game itself had been an intense and hard-fought battle from the very first inning. Both teams were locked in a fierce competition with neither side willing to give an inch. The Dodgers and the Rockies have had a growing rivalry in recent weeks, and tensions have been building beneath the surface for some time. However, nobody could have predicted that the situation would escalate to the shocking level it reached in the 11th inning. What started as a competitive baseball game quickly turned into something that had absolutely nothing to do with the sport itself. As Ohtani stepped into the batter's box in the top of the 11th inning, the crowd immediately sensed something was different. The atmosphere in the stadium had shifted dramatically from the competitive energy of the earlier innings to something far more tense and uncomfortable. Rockies pitcher Kyle Freeland wound up and delivered the first pitch directly at Ohtani's body. The ball struck Ohtani on his left arm with tremendous force, sending an audible gasp through the entire stadium. Manager Dave Roberts revealed the shocking fact that would later dominate sports headlines worldwide. He said that after witnessing the first hit by pitch, every single person in the Dodgers dugout immediately knew it was intentional. Will Ohtani suffer a serious injury from the brutal hit? Will the Rockies players face suspension or punishment from MLB? Will this incident ignite a full-scale war between these two rival teams? Will baseball's biggest star be sidelined for weeks after this shocking attack? When Ohtani grimaced in pain and grabbed his arm after the first hit by pitch, the entire Dodgers dugout erupted in anger. Players immediately began shouting from the bench, and the tension in the stadium reached a boiling point that everyone could feel. Media personnel in the press box were greatly alarmed to witness what appeared to be a deliberate targeting of the league's most celebrated player. This news spread outrage not only among reporters but also throughout the Dodgers' entire dugout and bullpen. Freddie Freeman also spoke to reporters and admitted that he was absolutely furious when he saw the first pitch hit Ohtani. Freeman said that the first thing that came to his mind was the protection of his teammate and closest friend in the clubhouse. He was particularly worried about the condition of Ohtani's left arm, which had taken a direct and powerful blow from a major league fastball traveling at high speed. Many people couldn't help but feel outraged when Ohtani, who gives everything he has for the game every single day, was deliberately targeted by an opposing pitcher. Immediately afterward, all the attention shifted to home plate umpire Alfonso Marquez, who issued a warning to both benches after the first hit by pitch. The warning was supposed to calm the situation and prevent further incidents. However, what happened next shocked everyone in the stadium and watching at home. Despite the official warning that had just been issued, a second Rockies player entered the situation in a way that nobody anticipated. As Ohtani took his base and the game continued, a confrontation near first base between Ohtani and Rockies first baseman quickly escalated beyond words. According to eyewitnesses at the scene, the Rockies' first baseman made physical contact with Ohtani in a manner that could not be described as accidental. After the second incident, manager Dave Roberts directly addressed the most talked-about question regarding the coordinated attack on his star player. The Dodgers manager revealed that what happened in the 11th inning was not a coincidence and not a mistake. It was a deliberate and calculated attempt to intimidate and injure his best player. However, the situation changed dramatically when Roberts saw not one but two separate Rockies players targeting Ohtani within the same inning. According to reports, Roberts immediately left the dugout and began walking toward the field with a purpose that left no doubt about his intentions. Therefore, what followed was completely unavoidable given the circumstances. Roberts confirmed that the moment the second Rockies player made contact with Ohtani, the entire Dodgers bench emptied onto the field simultaneously. This is a special situation that goes beyond normal baseball rivalries and competitive tension. He emphasized that his players have a responsibility to protect one another and that no team would stand by while their most important player was being deliberately targeted. When asked about his reaction to the incident, Roberts said there was no choice but to respond because allowing such behavior to continue unchallenged would only invite more of the same dangerous conduct. Mookie Betts revealed that after the second incident, he was one of the first players to reach the scene and position himself between Ohtani and the Rockies players. Betts said he saw Ohtani's expression change from his usual calm demeanor to something he had never seen before on the Japanese superstar's face. When the second Rockies player made contact with him, Ohtani stood his ground and did not back down despite the provocations. Betts revealed that it was all so sudden and so intense that many Dodgers players didn't even have time to think before their legs were already carrying them onto the field. Just seconds after the second incident, the entire scene transformed into complete chaos. Both benches had completely emptied, and players from both teams were pushing, shoving, and shouting in a massive confrontation near first base. "To be honest, I have never seen anything like that in my career," Betts said with a very serious expression. Two separate players targeting Shohei in the same inning. That is not baseball. That is something else entirely. Every single one of us on that team was ready to do whatever was necessary to protect him. According to the players, everyone understood immediately that this was a coordinated effort to get inside Ohtani's head and potentially remove him from the game through injury. The whole team was absolutely united in their response and refused to allow such tactics to go unanswered. His teammates understood that protecting their star player was not just a matter of team loyalty but a matter of basic respect for the game of baseball itself. Standing by and watching would have sent the wrong message to every team in the league. Shortly after the massive brawl broke out, umpires and security personnel rushed onto the field to separate the players. According to eyewitnesses at the scene, it took several minutes and the combined efforts of all 6 umpires plus stadium security to restore order. Unlike the usual brief skirmishes that occasionally break out during baseball games, this confrontation was particularly intense and required significant effort to bring under control. Several players from both teams had to be physically restrained before the situation finally calmed down. Sources close to the Dodgers say that Ohtani himself was one of the calmer figures during the brawl despite being the primary target of the aggression. According to those same sources, Ohtani's focus throughout the entire incident remained on the game rather than on retaliating against his aggressors. For him, responding with composure and dignity was more important than escalating the violence. This only further demonstrated the extraordinary character of the man who has become baseball's greatest ambassador. The incident has sparked widespread outrage across the baseball community. Former players, current stars, analysts, and fans from every team have taken to social media to express their disgust at the deliberate targeting of Ohtani. MLB issued an official statement confirming that a thorough investigation into the incident has been launched immediately. According to the statement, all available video evidence is being reviewed, and disciplinary action against the involved Rockies players is expected to be announced within the next 48 hours. After the brawl was finally brought under control, manager Dave Roberts held an emotional press conference to address the incident. Roberts said he was absolutely furious about what had been allowed to happen to his player and demanded that MLB take the strongest possible action against those responsible. The Dodgers manager's voice was tight with controlled anger as he described watching 2 of his players deliberately target his biggest star. Roberts said that this kind of behavior has no place in baseball and that he expects the league to send a clear and unmistakable message through its disciplinary response. As the Dodgers players gathered in the clubhouse after the game, a moment of unity suddenly occurred that brought the entire team together. It is reported that Freddie Freeman gathered everyone around and delivered a passionate speech about protecting one another and standing united in the face of what had just happened. The tense atmosphere in the clubhouse slowly transformed into one of determination and collective resolve. With a fierce expression, Freeman reminded his teammates that what had happened tonight would only make them stronger and more united as a team. The room became filled with a quiet but powerful energy when Ohtani himself stood up and addressed his teammates. According to those present, Ohtani thanked every single player who had come onto that field to stand by his side. He said that moments like these reveal the true character of a team and that he was proud and grateful to be surrounded by such remarkable teammates. Freeman said that the whole team is genuinely united behind their superstar and ready to face whatever comes next together. MLB has since confirmed that the Rockies players involved in the incident will face disciplinary hearings and that suspensions are being seriously considered. The league emphasized that the protection of its players is of the highest priority and that deliberate targeting of any player will not be tolerated under any circumstances. The investigation is ongoing, and further announcements are expected in the coming days.